guys, I'm Alana and welcome to Button Bash. I'm going to be reviewing Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate for you guys today, and first things first, Warriors Orochi 3 is a remake. Maybe even a remake. It's an Xbox One and PlayStation 4 port of Warriors Orochi 3, which is originally on the PlayStation 3 and the Vita in Japan, but that was a remake of Warriors Orochi 3 Hyper, which was a Wii U remake of the original game, which originally came out on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 in 2011, which was technically a re-release of Musou Orochi, which is the Japanese version. Got that? No, neither, honestly. What you should take from that is the game that I'm going to be specifically reviewing today is available on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and I played it on the PS4. It is a super fast-paced hack and slash and a combination of samurai warriors and dynasty warriors, and if Japanese were a genre of game, this would probably be it. But that's not to say it's unwelcoming to Western audiences. This is actually probably the best Warriors game that I've played, and the best for you to play if you haven't played any of the others. It might be the best full stop, but if you haven't liked the others, you probably won't like this one either. It's very much what you'd expect. In Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate, you have a handful of characters to choose from who can attack with weak attacks, strong attacks, and special attacks, and you've got to chain them all together to wipe out thousands and thousands of members of an enemy army. You can swap between 3 characters on the go, who each have different abilities that complement each other in different ways, and you'll probably be pretty quick to favor one over the other for their unique special abilities before collecting your entire team of 145 playable characters and just having no idea what to do with them all. Some of them even have their own side stories. It's a big game with a big roster, and there's a lot of excitement in unlocking a new character and using their special attack for the first time, or combining your 3 characters for custom triple team special. With so many characters, it's a real surprise that none of them actually feel samey. They're surprisingly distinct. And while there's a story there, it's crazy over the top, and the super urgent Japanese voice acting mimics that pretty well. I nearly jumped the first time I heard someone yelling at me in Japanese through the little speaker on the PS4 controller. And the story itself isn't that bad, but the way it ties into the game mechanically is nothing short of beautiful. You start off by fighting a giant Hydra with ballistas that you have to strategically capture, and all of the good guys are getting slaughtered by the hundreds of enemies on the map all the time. To actually stand a chance, the game has you jump back and forward in time to recruit new members of your army so that you might maybe make it through. That time travel system is awesome. It's not just a fancy plot device. If someone dies in one of the first missions of the game, you can change that through time travel. Not by being at the right place at the right time exactly, but by going even further back into the past to give that person some extra advantages, like extra allies, for example, and they might just live. None of this stuff ever feels scripted or linear though. If you screw up, it's on you, and the more of the game you consume, the more chances you'll get to fix up the past and recruit more allies so you can win in the end. And that immediate sense of hopelessness the game gives you, and it really is hopeless at the start, you just can't win, just packs on so much pressure that the game actually does feel a lot more like a triumphant journey than a Warriors-style hack and slash. While the combat can get hacky and repetitive, just like the other games in the franchise, Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate suffers from this probably the least of the ones that I've played, and that's largely because your objectives are so urgent, and it's a little more challenging than normal. While I spent a lot of time in Gundam Reborn hacking away at giant space robots with way too much ease, that was largely because the only way to get across the map was by doing that. Orochi 3 Ultimate is much more priority friendly, with more spacious and diverse maps fully encouraging you to focus efforts on saving your allies. Of course, when you get to a high enough level, you can probably kill 100 enemies in a single sweep, and it is so satisfying and easy to get distracted, but then the game just throws a particularly tough general at you and cuts that ego in two. In that, it's quite unpredictable. It does have its fair share of flaws though, like ridiculous checkpoints. If you fail a mission, you don't just get to retry, you get pushed back to the main menu and have to go through all the same cutscenes and preparations all over again before you even get to the mission again. This is such a dumb idea, and I can kind of imagine a lot of people giving up on the game entirely because of it. I just don't understand whose idea that was. Whoever you are, and I assume you're watching, it was terrible. You done goofed. There are also a few minor issues like environments popping in, things getting stuck in walls, and some weird rubber banding, but most of that is easily ignored. I think, weird lack of retry option aside, my biggest problem with Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate is actually just how boring everything looks. Environments are bland, enemies all look the same, and it's very obviously just a port of a last-gen game. That said, there are a handful of new game modes that didn't exist on the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 versions, so I unfortunately didn't get to experience any of these. Overall, it's a Warriors game. It plays the same as the others, and if you like the others, you're gonna love this. If you don't bother. If you haven't played either one, this is the perfect one to help you play to decide. I'm Alana, and thanks for watching Button Bash.